Grace and peace be multiplied unto you. Thank you for this another Wednesday night walking through the Word Bible class. Thank you for getting logged in. Grace and peace be multiplied to each of you. Take a few moments and to like and share this broadcast. Thank you for being a part of the virtual worship experience with us here on this Wednesday night. Good evening to you. Sister Glenda, good evening, Sister Arletta Cassette. Good evening, Sister Johnson, Sister Porter. Thank you so much for being logged in tonight. I see you getting logged in. Good evening to you, Sister Tanya Johnson, and each of you who are still getting logged in. Grace and peace be multiplied unto you. Go ahead and like and share. Good evening to you, Sister Dorothy Randall. Thank you for being a part of the Hill Watching experience as you're getting logged on for tonight's Walking Through the Word Bible class. Thank you so much for being a part of what God is doing. Good evening, Sister Brenda Boykins. Hello to my mother, Sister Joyce Johnson. Good evening to you. Come on, like and share and be a part of what God is doing for us on this Wednesday night. Thank you so much for getting logged on. Again, like and share this broadcast. Sister Tara Verse, thank you for being logged on tonight. We certainly appreciate your presence. Sister Shirley Grady Harvey, thank you so much for being a part of what God is doing for us on this Wednesday night. Thank you, Sister Alice Noble, for being a part of this worship experience. Go ahead and like, share, start broadcast, and things of that nature. Good evening to you, Deacon Hal Brown. Thank you for being part of the broadcast tonight. We certainly appreciate you being logged in with us on this Wednesday night. Grace and peace be multiplied to each of you. Thank you to our intercessors for their job tonight on the prayer call. We certainly appreciate all of you for being a part of the prayer call tonight as well. Thank you so much for being a Hill Watcher. Good evening to you, Minister Williams. Good evening to you, Sister Mia Cassette. Thank you for being a part. Like and share this broadcast tonight as we're preparing to continue in our study on tonight. Thank you so much for being a part of this experience. Listen, we have been at this place of really trying to dig into this commitment to covenant, but we've also been digging into building this framework for a theological basis as it relates to the family structure and as it relates to the family system and how all of that just simply ties in together. And so I want to continue tonight as we look at this, commitment to covenant and to what God's expectation of us or God's what he wants to see happen in our lives. Thank you. And what he wants to see take place in our lives. And so we want to prepare tonight to study together for a little bit as we start in this Old Testament record with the prophet Hosea. Chapter 1, give you a moment, some time to get there. Hosea chapter 1, as people are still getting logged on to the broadcast tonight. Hosea chapter 1 is where we want to study from tonight. Again, thank you for being a part of what God is doing for you. I see that you're getting logged on. Again, good evening to each of you who are still getting logged in. Sister Avant, good to see you getting logged in tonight. Thank you so much for being a part of what God is doing. Sister Ruby Huffman, I see you. Thank you for getting logged in tonight. And so I want to have an opportunity to interact with you as well as you're getting settled in and getting logged in. Sister Kimberly Butler, thank you for being logged in with us tonight. Like and share and invite somebody to Bible class with you tonight. Again, we want to continue this framework and this basis of this family system and how important it is, but also continue to build this theological base and argument on how important this covenant and this covenant commitment is, this family system structure, and how important it is. Last time we were together as we were looking at we kind of recapped and recalled from our break as we were looking at Genesis 6 and 8, and how God established his covenant with Abraham, and how God established the same covenant with Noah. And so we've been digging into this covenant piece. And so what did I want to do tonight? What do we want to accomplish tonight as we start in the book of Hosea, chapter 1? Because as I was unpacking this, as I was looking through this, as I was building what I wanted to present through this series, and as I was preparing to get to the book of Hosea, I am both astonished and amazed as I look at this particular prophet of old, and as we look at it from a autobiography of his life and how it is written and the imagery that's involved in the book of Hosea, and most importantly, what I want you to see tonight as prophet of old is preparing to carry out what God has instructed for him to do. Hosea chapter 1, what God has instructed for him to do. And it's amazing what we shall unpack together as we look at this historical account, as we look at this autobiography of the life of this prophet Hosea, as we look at this. Hosea chapter 1, because I think it'll give us an opportunity to look and establish what this covenant should look like. What covenant should look like. And when you talk about the commitment to covenant, what does that look like? What does that entail? And I think as we look at Hosea chapter 1, we'll begin to see an early image, illustration of what this argument of covenant looks like. God called the prophet Isaiah. It was miraculous. It was amazing, an astonished call on his life. God called the prophet Jeremiah. It was astonishing, the amazing call on his life. It is both recorded in Isaiah and Jeremiah on how God called them, what God called them to do, and who God called them to. And then when I get to Hosea chapter 1, and I look at his call, I look at God, how he commences the call of Hosea. I am astonished, I'm paused, I am just in a totality of a level of amazement, because I'm like, man, out of all the things that God can call somebody to do, this assignment is amazing to me. I want us to look at Hosea chapter 1, verse number 2 is all I wanted, because I need to slowly take you through what we have in this Old Testament record as we look at the autobiography of the prophet Hosea, this historical account as we look at it tonight, when God summons him and God calls him. The Bible says in Hosea chapter 1, verse number 2, it says this: the beginning of the word of the Lord by Hosea. And the Lord said to Hosea. This is the beginning, this is the commencement, this is the starting of a conversation that God summons and he calls Hosea. He calls him, he summons him. He said, listen, this is what I want you to do. This is what I want you. Hosea, this is what I know what I've had other people do. And this is what I want you to do. As a matter of fact, it seems to be dramatic. It seems to be over the top. It seems to be both challenging, perplexing in my mental capacity that God will summon somebody to do what he's getting ready to ask Hosea to do. It arrested me. I was just like, wow, as many times have I looked at this and tried to view this from my spiritual eye, trying to give Hosea an escape to make this perhaps not just an illustration, just says something, but this is an autobiography. This is what God is doing in the life of Hosea. This is what he calls him to do. And I was like, oh my goodness, how strange and how unnatural is this for God to ask Hosea to do this. And then I remember throughout biblical record, this is not the first time that God has used over-the-top measure, dramatic measures, as he's trying to get stubborn people to understand what he is saying. This is not the first time that God has used these type of measures to get stubborn people to understand what he's trying to say. As a matter of fact, if you really understood biblical record, historically there was a time that God summons Ezekiel and told him to lay on his right side for 390 days, his left side 40 days. There was a time that he summons to Isaiah and told him for 3 years walk around naked. And so God will use strange things to get stubborn people to understand what he's trying to say. And when I looked at what he summons in the beginning, the word of the Lord by Hosea, and the Lord said to Hosea, here's the assignment. Here's his assignment. Here is his assignment. Go take unto thee a wife of whoredoms. God says to his prophet, Hosea, go marry a promiscuous, adulterous woman. By all means, this is not the call he gave to Isaiah, he gave to Ezekiel. This is not the call he gave to Jeremiah, but yet this prophet Hosea, who was responsible for prophesying during this time of Israel, he says to him, go and take a wife of whoredom. What? And then I pause to look at it, and all of a sudden it dawned on me that God wants to use this autobiography to teach a lesson about covenant and about relationships. Covenant and about relationship, I know it to be true because he says, go and take you a wife. And you understand the marriage, covenant relationship. He says, I want your assignment to be, I want you to show people what true covenant is. I want you to put on display your life. I want to write your story. I want to write your history. I want to write your assignment. I want you to put on display what true covenant is. Go find the wife of whoredom. God calls Hosea into covenant. Check it out. Check it out. Hosea, who has a phenomenal reputation as a prophet, check it out. And his assignment when God calls him as a prophet is to go and marry a prostitute. He says, you're my prophet, go marry a prostitute. He tells the prophet to marry a prostitute. He tells the prophet to marry a prostitute. Why do you keep saying that, Lakeeby Johnson? Because he tells the prophet to marry the prostitute so that you and I can see that your commitment to covenant, your commitment to covenant has to go beyond your reputation. And you cannot get to the place where you're trying to protect your rep, and so certain people you won't commit to, you won't be around because trying to protect your reputation. But isn't it amazing that when God decided to love us, he wasn't trying to protect his reputation. It's amazing that people arrive at a certain place in life, certain mindset, and they want to disconnect from certain people, certain things, certain environments, certain situations, because they don't want other people to know that they are associated with you. And the first thing that God says to the prophet, go marry a prostitute. In other words, don't get caught up in how they're going to view you as a man, and don't get caught up in your reputation. Because this is my assignment to you, to marry this woman. And so covenant says, I don't care what others have said about you or what they've declared or what they think they know about you. It's not going to stop me from being connected to you because of my commitment to covenant. That's a challenge, because there are some people who will walk away, disconnect from you based upon what they heard other people say, or based upon what they think your reputation is. And so they don't come around you, they don't stay connected to you because of what somebody else said. And when you understand true covenant, you don't get caught up in a reputation based upon the opinion of other people. So commitment to covenant, you can't try to protect your rep. And it also suggests you don't try to protect your rep, but also it suggests that commitment to covenant is not something that you talk about in private, but it's an action that you do in public. Commitment to covenant is not something you talk about in private, but it's something you put on display in public. How do you say that to be? Because he's not going to be able to hide his wife. And so his commitment to marry her, everybody's going to know. The community is going to know that's his wife. And so he can't hide her and say, oh, I got a wife, but she over there, I don't want to identify her. I don't want her to know. I don't want you to know her name because of her past reputation or because of her reputation. And here is the piece, people of God. You got to be careful with people who learn from you in private but don't want to be associated with you in public. You got to be careful of that. People who want you to know that they want to be connected to you, but they don't want anybody else to know that you are connected to them. I'll say it again. I'll say it again. Be leery and be careful of people who don't want other people to know they're connected to you, but they only want you to know that you're connected to them. That private commitment to covenant, I am always amazed. I am always amazed at the number of people who want to reach out, talk to you in private. But then in public, they're not sure if they want to be connected to you. That's interesting. But when you got a commitment to covenant, you want your covenant commitment on display. You don't want to try to hide it. You don't want to try to pretend it doesn't exist, because it does. And when God summons the prophet Hosea to marry a wife of whoredom, he's saying this commitment is going to be on display. This commitment is going to be on display. This ain't going to be a secret. We ain't hiding it. Everybody's going to know. Why? Why? Because I want to put on display what a true commitment to covenant looks like. Because on the onset, when you think about the prophet Hosea marrying the prostitute, this promiscuous, this adulterous woman, the first thing you think about, wait a minute, she doesn't meet the conditions to be a wife. Well, guess what? I told you true covenant is not based upon conditions. It's based upon your faithfulness and commitment to the covenant. And so it doesn't matter in this particular instance that God is putting covenant on display that this woman does not meet the conditions. She doesn't have any to meet because Hosea has to be committed into the covenant, and as a result of that, God will use his commitment to the covenant to eventually to restore her to her right place. But covenant is never a secret. Covenant has to be put on display. He says, go take the wife of whoredom, check this out, the whole family and children of whoredom. Here's why he does it. He said, because the land, in this case the land referring to Israel, had committed whoredom, a great whoredom, from departing from the Lord. Because the commitment to covenant, number one, what do we learn here? The commitment to covenant. God summons Hosea, go marry this woman who doesn't meet the criteria or the conditions. Go marry her. She doesn't meet the criteria or the conditions that we know of as it relates to a man marrying a woman or vice versa. The conditions are not met because automatically you're telling me to go marry somebody who's going to be unfaithful. And God is saying, yeah, because that's how Israel acted toward me after they made their commitment to be in the covenant with me. They didn't remain committed. They got away from me. But because my commitment to covenant is not based upon condition, guess what? I am not going to divorce you, but I'm going to love you to the place that it forces you to change. Oh, that's what God is doing. He said, and we're going to unpack it. That's what he's doing. He said, I'm going to love you so. Remember I talked about this? So much love is going to, you have to tell people, you give me so much love, so much grace, it's getting on my nerves. I don't want any more. But he's saying, check it out. I am going to accept where you are, who you are. I'm not going to be embarrassed by the fact that I'm connected to you, because my commitment is to covenant. And even if your actions don't line up, you are not going to stop me from being committed to the covenant relationship. Isn't that a challenge? Isn't this goes beyond your first grade attitude as a Christian? Well, I got to progress to a certain place. Well, how long is it going to take you? Because this challenge is real, because you see so many relationships that don't survive because people start checking off the conditions that were not met. You didn't do this. You didn't do this. You wasn't able to do this. You didn't satisfy this. And all of a sudden, before you know it, especially in Christendom, we start checking the box. And the box becomes more important than our commitment to covenant. Why? Why? Because We put expectations on people at a place of perfection that we don't even have for ourselves. Hosea can't protect his reputation when God has given him an assignment. As a matter of fact, people of God, Hosea's assignment is covenant. I'll say that again. Please note it on the screen. Hosea's assignment is covenant. That's his assignment. That's his assignment. Marriage, a wife, that's covenant. His assignment is covenant without condition. Because already he's getting into something with somebody who doesn't practice faithfulness. That's why God still loves you. Because he has a commitment to his covenant. That's why he still tolerates you, because he has a commitment to covenant. And so if that's what we've received, then we've got to get to the place, the very thing that we're able to receive is the very thing we're also able to give out. What are you doing? What's the challenge? What's the challenge? Is your reputation causing you to producing resentment against other people? You can't be around them. I can't talk to you. I don't want nobody to know I know you. You got resentment with other people. Why? Because you're trying to protect what you describe as your reputation. I'm a prophet, God. You telling me to marry this woman? I'm a prophet. The community is going to laugh at me because I'm a prophet. And how many times have we made ourselves bigger than what we really are? And your greatest assignment and your greatest commitment is first to God. And when you can commit to God, guess what, my friend? You can commit to every and anything else. Why? Because you understand what commitment requires. It requires me to want to be obedient to the voice of God. Hosea, go do what I told you to do. Okay, God. Because when you do what I ask you to do, you ain't got to worry about your reputation because I'm going to take care of that. You don't have to worry about what others are thinking. I'm going to take care of you. Why? Because I'll never give you an assignment and not put you in position to excel in the assignment I've given you. That's why you got to be careful. That's why you got to be careful, my friend, before you go hollering out, well, God gave me this assignment. Well, why is it that you're not still doing it? Did God change his mind? Well, God called me to that. Well, what happened that you stopped doing it? Did God stop calling? Because a lot of times we like to be cute, cuddly, spiritual, and a lot of times just simply not tell the truth. It ain't that God called us to it. We saw something that we wanted to do, and we only wanted to do it for that moment. And because we were not committed to the covenant aspect of it, we'll walk away from it without even thinking about it. When you've got true commitment, and what we'll discover in Hosea, when you've got true commitment, when unfaithfulness has taken place, when conditions are horrible, you still remain in that place of commitment. Why? Because God gave me this assignment. You better make sure, my brothers and sisters, that what you're doing is because God gave you the assignment. Because when he gives you the assignment, what he's giving you is challenging you. Can you be committed to covenant? Doesn't matter. Covenant is not private. He puts it on display. That's why the whole marriage takes place, because covenant is on display. Our commitment to covenant demonstrates our obedience to God. Note that. It was God who told Hosea to do it. Don't go doing things because you say, well, God told me to do it. And then next week, you stop doing it because you know it really wasn't God, but it was you. Because when God tells you to do something, you don't just pack up your bags and stop doing it based upon what day of the week it is. That's not covenant. That's you doing what you want to do. And people of God, that's the challenge for us. Are you committed? Are you committed to covenant? Are you committed to covenant? Pastor, that's challenging. It was his assignment. His assignment was a commitment to covenant. No matter what happens, you've got to stay committed to covenant. God bless you. Listen, I got something I need to share with you real quickly tonight. Thank you so much for being logged in. God bless you. Hosea chapter 1. We're going to walk through this together. Sister Johnson, there are envelopes on my desk in my office, and I forgot to bring them out. Remember on Sunday, thank you so much for being logged in. You remember Sunday, we pivoted. We were doing the $13 a week for our building fund project. We made a pivot, and we're going to have segments of 100 Day of Giving as we're looking and determined to burn this mortgage. We're going to have 100 days of giving, and we've got a project going on. And so stick with me for a few moments while I try to unpack this project to you. Many of you Sunday, thank you for responding so well, and it's good to see so many of you logged on tonight. Thank you so much. I see you, Sister Williams, Sister Laura Lee Williams. Thank you for being logged on tonight. Thank you, Sister Troy Cassette. Thank you for being logged on tonight, and thank you. I appreciate you so much. But hang out with me for a few moments. I want to give you some more information as it relates to what we're trying to accomplish with this mortgage burning campaign. And so we pivoted from the $13 a week, and so every Sunday, every Wednesday night, what we're hoping to accomplish, we have 100 envelopes. We have 100 envelopes. That's what we have. We have 100 envelopes. And what we're trying to do with those 100 envelopes in 100 days of giving is that each envelope is marked by twos. They're marked by twos. Those of you who were here Sunday, if you help me out on the screen, and you can help me out on the screen and kind of share what we're doing. This is our mortgage burning project. Hang out with me for a minute. But each envelope is marked by twos. And on Sundays and Wednesday, we're going to try to fill our 100 envelopes. We're going to try to fill. We're not going to try. We're going to get it done. Those of you who are watching, we're going to fill our 100 envelopes. And so on Sunday, we started with 2, which represents $2. So we had 7 envelopes on Sunday, went from 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, and thereafter. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Those of you who are on the screen, I hope you understand what I'm saying. Thank you, Deacon Butler. Thank you guys for being on tonight. And so what we have tonight is that we have 7 more envelopes. We got $14. We've got $16, $18. We have $20, $22, and we have $24 and $26. That's what we have tonight on this Wednesday night. And so Sunday we started with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I hope you understand that. And now we have 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, and 26. That's what we have tonight. And so I need to get a commitment from you. Those of you who are watching, those of you who are here watchers, who would be the individual who will fill the envelope for $14? Talk to me on the screen. $14, you will fill that envelope. Pastor, I'll take care of the $14. I'm going to do it via Cash App. I'm going to stop by the church tomorrow and fill the $14 envelope. Well, what about the $16 envelope? Who would do that? And so thereon and thereafter. Come on, if you're on the screen watching with me, I want to get some commitments from those who are watching. 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26 is $26 is the most that we're asking for as it relates to these 7 envelopes. Don't worry if somebody picks yours, it doesn't matter. We can double up. And so that's what I need. I need a commitment from who would fill $14, who would fill $16, who would fill $18, who would fill $20, who will fill 22, 24, and 26, and thereafter. And so thank you. Sister Orletta Cassette, I think she said she'll do the $16 one. Thank you, Sister Lisa. I appreciate that. And so that's what we're needing, and that is our weekly ask. Every week, Wednesday and Sundays, we'll talk about filling our envelopes for it's 100 days of giving, and our goal is, and when we're done with 100 days of giving, that we'll place $10,000 toward our burning mortgage campaign. And so again, we're pivoting away from the $13 a week, and this is what we are doing now. And so continue on that screen. We're still watching, and I have opportunity to hear you, and to see you now and your commitment. So I need you to do that for me. Sister Johnson is coming with our announcement. As always, thank you for being a Hill Watcher. Again, we need the commitment up to $26. Who's going to be those individuals who will support this mortgage burning campaign that we've started now? God bless you. I love you and I appreciate you. Keep responding on that screen. Thank you, Sister Porter, for the $20. I see you. Keep responding on the screen as Sister Johnson is even doing the announcements as we speak. God bless you. Thank you for Sharika Evans-Carter, who's going to do the $18. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Keep responding as the announcements are coming, and we'll get an opportunity to see and we to reach our goal tonight. God bless you. I love you. Thank you for being a Hill Watcher.
Thank you, Pastor Johnson, for that amazing word on tonight. We are challenged, and we promise to do that more the better as a result of the word going forth. Just a reminder, to receive church text messages, please text The Hill at 844-594-5300. Remember, once you opt out, you must call the church administrative office or Sister Muriel Jones to get back into the system. Our adult Sunday school lesson will start at 10 a.m. every Sunday via conference call. The number and access code is located on our social media outlets as well as our website. The Christian Education Ministry has added a youth component, Youth Sunday School via Zoom every Sunday at 10 a.m. Please check your church text messages for the meeting ID and passcode. That information is also on our social media outlets as well. Our 39 plus 2 celebration will be held Friday, February the 18th through Sunday, February the 20th. On Friday at 6:30 p.m., we ask that you join us for family movie night here at the church. On Saturday, we will have a virtual sip and share at 10 a.m. And on Sunday morning, for Sunday morning worship, Pastor Jerry Wilson from St. John Baptist Church will deliver the message. Each family has been asked to sow a seed of $100. Please contact Sister Jeanette Ellaby, Minister Christopher Williams, or the church office by Friday, February the 5th to let us know if you will participate for the weekend. To order Pastor Johnson's first book project, Looking Within, please go to lakivcjohnson.com, amazon.com, kobo.com, Barnes & Noble, or you can see me for any worship services. These are your weekly announcements. Please govern yourselves accordingly and have an amazing Wednesday. God bless you all.